bond between a father and son is something amazingly special that truly goes beyond any descriptive words. My dad and mom, Frank and Lorraine Cunningham Morrison, went above and beyond to make sure that every Christmas was very special for my brothers and my sister and I. And from the earliest Christmas that I remember to the last ones that I shared with my dad and my mom, each is a sparkling gem in my memory of the seasons of my life. This Christmas story, however, focuses primarily on my dad and I. Now, this particular Christmas was the year of the bicentennial in the United States. We turned 200 years old. History had always been my passion since I was a very young boy, and on this Christmas, my dad played right into that with a gift that brought tears to my eyes and tugged at my heartstrings, and still does today. To understand, we must leave 1976 and go back to 1970, just briefly, as that is where the story begins on a very hot summer day. I believe it was in August. My dad worked for Chevrolet Transmission on Genesee Street here in Saginaw, Michigan, and when it was hot outside, it was insufferable in the plant where my dad worked. Only one day he decided to go for a walk down the railroad tracks on his lunch break. The tracks ran right next to the transmission plant. And as he was walking, something shiny and gold caught his eyes. And it was an antique pocket watch of the type a conductor would have used way back in the day. I'm thinking 1900s, 1920s. It's anyone's guess how it got there. He picked it up, though, and brought it home in hopes someone would post a notice seeking it out, but nobody did. Now, I thought that watch was totally amazing. And it didn't work, but still, it was such an awesome keepsake of another time, and I admired it for sure. But Dad was not really ready to part with it at that time. Now, fast forward to Christmas 1976. Weeks before Christmas, my mom kept trying to arouse my curiosity by saying things like, "Your dad has a special present for you, and you'll never guess what it is, so don't even try." And it worked. My curiosity was piqued, and it was driving me nuts, to be honest with you. So no matter how much I begged, though, she would not let out a single clue. And in retrospect, I'm glad she didn't. But finally, Christmas morning arrived, and Mom called from the bottom of the stairs so she, Dad, and I could exchange our gifts. One of the very few times they were up before me on Christmas morning. And I threw on my red plaid flannel bathrobe and I bounded down the stairs. And I sat down, and my dad gave me a small package that Mom had wrapped up in colorful Christmas paper. And I'm sure you all probably by this point have guessed what was in that package. I removed the paper, opened the box, and there was that wonderful gold watch. And it was working. Dad had had it repaired for me, but there was something else, and it had been engraved with a personal message for me. For my son Mike, love you always, Christmas 1976. My middle name is Michael, and for many years I went by Mike. I'm not sure why they did that. My mom told me once it's because she liked the initials DMM better than MDM, but she liked the name Michael, so I guess that's how that originated. But I was very surprised, as I didn't even know the watch was still around. I truly thought that it had been lost in our move up north from Saginaw to Oscoda, and I had tears in my eyes. You see, I always knew my dad loved me, but because of some very personal problems that I had, I really didn't feel I was worthy of my dad's love. The inscription meant more to me than I can put into words. Once I was the only one at home when we moved up to Oscoda, Dad nor I had no problems with displays of affection. I mean, I got up, bent down, and I kissed him on the cheek and hugged him and told him I loved him. It's funny the things that we remember, Dad went home to be with the Lord Jesus many, many years ago. I think it was 1990 or 91. But when I think of this watch and that morning, I can still feel the rough stubble of his whiskers on my lips that morning as I kissed him on the cheek. Mom, God bless her, was all smiles as she knew how much that watch would mean to me. And Dad instructed, don't overwind it, that'll break the spring. Let me show you. And he did. And he also asked me not to tell my brothers about the gift. He knew they would be upset that he had given me something so personal. So I never did tell them. It hurts my heart that I no longer have the watch. Like almost all my personal items, my ex-wife took them in our divorce. Why? I don't know, but one thing she nor anyone else can ever take from me are the memories of that morning and of what my dad did and how his love made me feel more complete as a human being. So that is one of my very best Christmas memories in the past, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing about it. I hope you have a very merry and happy Christmas season this year.